Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about level 3 bladder training. So we have already seen level 1 and 2, how to train the children in level 1 and level 2. And now we are going to see how to train the children in level 3. So in this level, what are the goals? Here, we want the child to be independent. That is, we want the child to open the door and use the toilet without the help of an adult. Here we expect the child to remove and wear his or her pants. We want the child to flush or pour water after using the washroom. And we want the child to wash himself or herself without the help of an adult. And basically, we want the child to achieve complete independence in toileting. So, now what are the prerequisites that are needed to enter into this level? So, definitely the children who have cleared level 1 and level 2 training successfully can go to level 3. And the age to start is usually around 3 years. What are the steps involved? When the child indicates, we need to direct the child to the specified place. So, in level 2 itself, the children are able to indicate before voiding by using any means like sound or gesture or word or some kind of an action. So, when a child indicates his need to go and use the restroom, we have to, at this point, direct the child to the specified place instead of taking the child to the specified place. But we need to accompany the child. After directing the child to the restroom, we have to go behind the child. And we have to encourage the child to remove the pants before entering the restroom. So we've been already training the children to remove their pants, helping them to do it and then getting them to do it by themselves. So by now the children will be able to remove on their own. So at this point we have to encourage the child to remove his pants. And then after removing, we need to instruct the child to void. So at this stage the children are able to understand and follow what is instructed or what is gestured. So once the child voids, encourage the child to wash and pour water or flush or whatever the need may be. And then encourage the child to wear his or her pants. And once the child finishes the whole act, all the steps involved, applaud the child, encourage the child by hugging and kissing or whatever the child likes. And make sure that you offer help for difficult steps. Sometimes opening the door may be difficult, or flushing or pouring water. Some steps may be difficult for the child. And whichever steps are difficult for the child, you offer help. When you say offer help, you are not doing it for the child, but you are helping the child to do it. It basically means that you don't do it for the child, but when the child is doing, you are assisting the child. So if the child is trying to pour water, you hand over the cup, you take the water and hand over the cup to the child so that the child is able to pour water. So, or if the bucket is too high or it is placed higher, you make sure that you use a smaller bucket which the child is able to manage himself. So, this kind of help we need to offer to the children. And follow these steps for 3 to 4 weeks, where you are directing the child and you are accompanying the child and you are encouraging the child to complete the act. After that, after 3 to 4 weeks of following this procedure, What you can do now is you can stay little away from the child and instruct the child to follow the steps. So now whenever the child comes to you and indicates his or her need to go and use the restroom, you have to direct the child to the restroom, and you need not accompany the child, but you can stay little away from the child and encourage the child to follow the same steps. So here the child is doing everything by himself or herself, but with supervision and instruction. So you need to supervise, make sure the child is able to follow all the steps like removing his pants, opening the door, entering, passing, and pouring water and washing himself or herself. So all these steps need to be supervised. So once he finishes everything and he comes, you again upload the child, and you also supervise that all the steps are done appropriately or correctly. We need to make sure that the child has done each step neatly and as expected. Especially, we have to make sure that the child has cleaned himself or herself properly, and he or she is not wet the pant and properly flushed or poured water. You can offer help or instruction based on the performance. So you know how the child is performing. He may be very comfortably doing one or two steps, but he may be struggling or he might not have completed one or two steps. So in those situations, you need to instruct the child again on what is recommended, what is expected of the child. Follow this routine till the child becomes skilled, and you keep encouraging the child at each step. So once the child is able to follow the routine without any help, the bladder training is successfully completed. And continue to practice what is learned in the daily routine. So every day you get the child to be independent in using the restroom, but be sure to supervise the child because he's still a child and you need to definitely keep some precautions in mind. Supervision is definitely needed, and make sure that the floor is not slippery. Objects like blade, razors, cleaning solutions, acids, all these things should be kept out of reach, because children, when they are unsupervised, they may reach out to any of these things, and without knowing the danger, they may get into many troubles. So we have to be very careful about that. And we have to be careful about the latches and the locks also. Make sure it is not reachable for them, or make sure that it cannot be operated by them. With this, level 3 bladder training is over. We have seen level 1, 2, and 3 of bladder training. We have discussed in detail about bowel training level 1. Level 2 and level 3 of bowel training is similar to level 2 and 3 of bladder training. So whatever we have discussed so far in the bladder training can be followed for doing bowel training. For any queries and consultation, you can email at the following address, that is childcareguidance@gmail.com.